Today, we're gonna make better time lapses. Over the course of 6 years, I've broken cameras, gone water into cameras. A lot of trial and error, learning by mistakes. This video is gonna save you all that trouble and give you tips to instantly make better time lapses. By the way, after this video, I'll make a full guide, full tutorial step by step on how to make the 30 days time lapse, from the gear, the setup, to the program, the software, and how I just make the whole thing. So make sure to subscribe and hit that bell button so that when it comes out, you get notified. Now for this video, all the equipment I'll provide with a link down below so it's easier for you to check them out. Let's get started. Number one, secure your tripod. If you shoot outdoors, sometimes in windy conditions, you need to secure your tripod. There's this little hook on most tripod. You can put your backpack or hang pretty much any dead weight to stabilize it, but sometimes it's not enough. I learned this the hard way, so I've come up with a better idea to go further beyond. I use gaffer tape to tape these legs. Gaffer tape is good because it leaves no residue. That way, you not only secure your camera for safety, but you ensure there's no movement to ruin your shots. Number two, waterproof your camera. The plastic bag trick is useful for shooting single images, but for time lapses, you may use your camera out in the elements for hours. Moisture can still get inside without a good seal. If you've seen the 30 days time lapse, I learned it the hard way, yet again. It's especially hard with protruding lens. What you need is an upgrade. Again, gaffer tape to seal those edges without residue. Get some of these silica gel packet and you'll be good to take these long time lapses without worry. Again, the links are down below. Number three, just do it. Just share it. It's the most important factor that improved my time lapses. During my first ship, I didn't even have a camera. But on my third ship as a cadet, the captain was a big practitioner of time lapses. And he would take them every week and show me his work. That inspired me and I started taking time lapses. Me and the captain, we would individually take time lapses on a weekly basis and look at each other's work and just admire how awesome they are. There's two key elements here. By showing your work to a friend, family, or share online, you get encouragement, positivity, and that satisfaction just drives you to continue to shoot more and just try harder. The second element is just that you gotta do it. There's no amount of YouTube tutorial watching can equate to actually doing it. Don't look at the subscriber or follower count. Just show it to your friends, family, from your phone, from your tablet. Show them in person, share it on Instagram, share it on social media. Get going and get that positive energy. Number four, music. Music adds style, vibe, emotion into your time lapses. The success of my 30 days time lapse, I attribute it mostly to the music. I make sure to pair it with a nice track before showing the finished product. There are times when I have to listen to hundreds of tracks before I find one that really fits the emotion, the theme. Now, it's all up to personal taste, but you want to try and follow your gut feeling, something that inspires you or just wows you. Even better, if you can time it or time the beat to a specific event, that'll even up your game a notch. In the Hong Kong time lapse, notice how I timed the drop to the bridge. Number five, intervalometer. Use an external intervalometer whenever you can, because that way you'll save battery, processing power, and it's more reliable. More battery equals longer time lapses and less management. You can get a cheap and reliable intervalometer that can last you for years. Again, link down below. Slap on a Ziploc bag and you're good to go even in the rain. Number six, exposure and flickering. For all time lapses, you should disable autofocus, disable auto white balance, disable auto anything. We don't want sudden change of flickering in the time lapses. Flickering happens when a cloud passes by and the scene is dimmed for a few seconds. The camera overreacts, overcorrects, and you get a flicker. Now notice I didn't mention about turning off auto exposure, and that's because the latest cameras have something special built in to allow you to use auto exposure and not get flickering. These built-in camera features lowers how sensitive your camera is. In other words, you won't get a flicker even if suddenly your scene darkens for a few seconds. Nikon has exposure smoothing under a time-lapse function. Sony newly released time-lapse app, they have something called auto exposure tracking sensitivity, and you just set it to low. Canon is just auto exposure under time-lapse option. They also have Magic Lantern for older model camera, a third-party app that is highly customizable. Number 7, always shoot RAW. To make a time-lapse, you can shoot a video and then speed it up in post, or you can shoot in JPEG, but I highly recommend you shoot everything in RAW because you get more control, you get more dynamic range, you have more details for your finished product. For example, next time when shooting in bright conditions, try this, underexposing in a bright scene so that in post you get more detail. And then if you're shooting in a dark scene, try overexposing, such as a starry night, to get more stars. On a side note, when I first began taking time-lapse, I was reluctant to shoot RAW because I was worried about storage spaces. Storage memory is just so cheap right now. It's better to have everything in best quality than to regret not having it when you're trying to make a masterpiece. I'm really a true believer in this. I've got like 36 terabytes of storage. Number 8, location and framing. And that's think outside of the box. Imagine the shots. How can you make your time-lapse different than everyone else? And that's what makes a good time-lapse. For example, in this shot, I climb out on the aft deck lashing bridge in order to get it. People might think of you weird for going so far to get a better angle, but it always pays off. Keep that in mind. Maybe shoot it at a lower level, at a corner, high up, a bird's eye view. It's really satisfying when the audience wonders, how did he get that shot? Try something different and your time-lapse will stand out, which brings me to the next point. Number 9, add motion and movement. To make an interesting time-lapse, it has to be dynamic. Plenty of motion and movement in the shot. There's many types of motion in time lapses. The simplest one is your objects. Find something that moves a lot and preferably dense. And then there's the motion blur. It's done by a slower shutter speed. Try 1/4 of a second or even longer. Motion blur makes the shot more fluid and enjoyable. And then there's the camera pans or zooms. You can buy gadgets to move your camera while shooting or do it in post. Just simply zoom in and zoom out. One of the reasons why hyperlapse is so popular is because it's got a lot of moving parts. It's always extremely attention grabbing because there's just so much going on. Taking a time lapse on a ship is essentially a hyperlapse. The ship moves for you. Number 10, plan your time lapses. Make notes. But in reality, it should be the first thing you do in a time lapse workflow. You should always plan what, where, when, and how you're going to take the time lapse. Know how long your time lapse is going to take, what interval you're going to shoot it, your settings, your exposures, your memory card, how many you need, how many fit, how many batteries you need to carry, or how you're going to switch it in and out. You should set the interval to match the movement in the scene. Think about the objects. If they are moving fast, then you need a short interval. If they're moving slow, then you need a larger interval. Keep notes. You can use paper or use phone. I keep it on my phone all the time so I can pull it up on the field. I did this a lot for my night time lapses. I record down what setting I use so that next time when I come back out again, I can use that setting and adjust slightly. For example, I'll use the exact same settings as last time, but I'll change the ISO to see if it's any better. It's a learning loop that feeds back into improving your time lapse, which I hope this video does for you to improve your time lapses. If you got any additional tips, make sure to comment down below because I read all the comments. And if you got a question, make sure to DM me on Instagram. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this video, and I'll see you next time.